Hello, and a great day to you. I'll tell you, I am having a wonderful, a beautiful on-passive day, and I hope that your day is going even better than mine. Now, did you know if you look toward the sky, right, up toward the sky, and you focus on the space a few feet in front of your eyes, in a bit, if you do it just right, you'll be able to see part of the matrix of our reality. Yeah, you should have some fun with that. Anyway, listen. Lately, we seem to be hearing more and more about AI. So, since AI is a huge proponent of ONPASSIVE and will only expand even as we blanket the world with our technology, I thought it might be fun to talk about AI and its underlying neural networks in a way so that we can understand more of what it is and give a little history about it all. So, in 1950, there was an English mathematician named Alan Turing, and he published a paper that was entitled Computing Machinery and Intelligence. Now, that paper opened up the doors to the field that would be called AI. And in this paper, Turing created what he called the limitation game, right? And this later became known as the Turing test, which was a test of a machine's ability to exhibit intelligent behavior equivalent to or indistinguishable from human beings, right? Now, a few years later, John McCarthy, long held to be the father of AI, coined the term artificial intelligence when he held the first academic conference on that subject, right? The subject of AI in 1956. And this actually signified the quest for AI. Man, it was well underway, right? Now, we've all seen movies and science fiction books and things like that, novels that all depict AI as some sort of human-like robots that all, take over the world. Well, that's not going to be happening anytime soon. And the current evolution of AI technologies isn't all that scary or that smart, come to think of it. But it has evolved to provide many specific benefits in every imaginable industry, right? Everything you can think of, it's got an application in there that it can work with. So, by way of definition, I suppose artificial intelligence is the basis for mimicking human intelligence processes through the creation and application of algorithms, right, that are built into a dynamic computing environment. Now, algorithms are just procedures used that are for solving problems or performing computations. That's all they are. And simply stated, AI is our best attempt to make computers think and act like humans. It consists a lot of different technologies, and they all work together to enable machines to sense, comprehend, and act in a way, um, and learn with human-like levels of intelligence. So that's what it is. I mean, all total, it makes it possible for machines to learn from experience too. They can also adjust to new inputs and perform human-like tasks. So most AI examples that we hear about today, from chess playing to software automation to self-driving cars, all of that relies very heavily on deep learning, machine learning, and natural language processing, which are all part of the AI landscape, so to speak, right? And each one of those components, each one of those areas or technologies is evolving along its own path. And when it's applied in combination with data, analytics, and automation that can help businesses achieve their goals. And that's exactly what OnPassive is doing as well. Um, be it improving customer service or optimizing supply chains, etc., it's all coming together. Now, using these technologies, computers can be trained to accomplish specific tasks by processing very large amounts of data, and more specifically, by recognizing patterns in that data. And OnPassive has this tech running through every bit, no pun intended, every bit of their technology and running its automation as well. So, why is AI important to us? Well, because it's doing a lot of very cool stuff. And a lot of that is the stuff that Mr. Mufara keeps on stacking, right? Now, AI is important because it automates repetitive learning and discovery through data. This is to say, rather than automating manual tasks, AI performs frequent, high volume computerized tasks very reliably without ever getting tired. Of course, if you're worried about AI taking over and doing all those nasty things, don't worry about it because AI will never be able to replace humans. We're still going to be needed to set the systems up and to ensure that we ask the right questions. So, AI is also important because it adds intelligence to existing products. Now, a lot of the products that we already use can and will be improved with AI capabilities. And as an example, think about how much value is added to OnPass's other products and services by integrating a chatbot feature, right? Other features of AI like automation, conversational platforms, bots, and smart machine stuff, all of which you're going to be seeing in OnPassive, can be combined with a large amount of data to improve lots of different technologies. Now, AI is also important because it operates through progressive learning algorithms that let the data do the programming. I hope you got that, right? It does the programming. And let me tell you, programming is absolutely time intensive. So that is a huge, huge benefit to AI. And AI finds structure and regularities in the data that algorithms can acquire the skills. So life is pretty good, with AI. I mean, just as an algorithm can teach itself to play chess, it can teach itself what product to recommend next online. How many times have we seen that where you just kind of surfing the net and voila, the thing you were looking for or wanting to ask questions about pops up on the right hand side. Hey, look at me. And don't forget, just like we do when we get new information, the models that we're talking about here, the AI models with the algorithms, they can adapt when they have new data as well. Now, AI is also important because it achieves incredible accuracy through the deep neural nets that it uses. For example, our interactions with Alexa and Google, all right, are all based on deep learning, and these products keep getting more accurate the more we use them. In the medical field, AI techniques from deep learning and object recognition now are used to pinpoint cancer on medical images with a lot better frequency and accuracy as well. So, I mean, there's a lot of different ways we can be using this. Now, AI is also important because it gets the most out of data. When algorithms are self learning, the data itself is an asset because the answers, as we know, are in the data, right? And we have massive amounts of data, and you just have to apply AI to find them. Now, since the role of the data is now more important than ever, it can create a competitive advantage for us, right? I mean, if we have the best data in a competitive industry, even if everybody is applying similar techniques, the best data is going to win. Yay, team OnPassive, right? And with OnPassive, we will be winning bigger together, to be sure. But right now, we also need to know what a neural network is, right? So let me just tell you that it's a method in artificial intelligence that teaches computers to process data in ways that are inspired um, by, so to speak, or mimics, that's a good word, the human brain. This means AI is also important because it analyzes more and deeper data using neural networks that may have hidden layers in them. For example, when we're using it to build fraud detection systems that have several hidden layers, that used to be impossible. But we can do that now because of big data and the computing power, right? With the incredible computing power that we have and the access to all the big data that we're talking about, all that has changed because it takes a lot of data to train deep learning modules because they learn directly from the data, right? Now, neural networks are computing systems with interconnected nodes that work a lot like the neurons in the human brain. So, using algorithms, they can actually recognize hidden patterns, correlations in the data, cluster it, declassify or classify it rather, and over time they will learn and improve. Now, ONPASSIVE is using these systems in their technology. And when Mr. Mufara says it's smart and can learn, let me tell you, he's not kidding, okay? Now, the first neural network was conceived of by Warren McCulloch and Walter Pitts back in 1943. They wrote a rather important sentinel paper on how neurons may work, and they modeled their ideas by creating a simple neural network using electrical circuits. Now, this breakthrough model paved the way for the neural network research to really go ahead, and it forked into two different areas, right? The first one was the biological processes in the brain. The other was the application for neural networks for AI. Now, that AI research accelerated rather quickly, and it developed the first true multi-layered neural network in 1975. And that was developed by uh, Kunihiko Fukushima. So we'll put that on the slide. The original goal of the neural network approach was to create a computational system that could solve problems like the human brain, right? It was based on it. We wanted it to mimic it. And since then, neural networks have supported a whole lot of diverse tasking, right? And this includes computer vision, speech recognition, machine translation, social network filtering, board games, playing video games, medical diagnostics, tons of stuff, right? They're also ideally suited to help people solve complex problems in real life situations, and they can learn and model relationships between inputs and outputs that are nonlinear and complex. They can make generalizations and inferences. They can reveal hidden relationships, hidden patterns, and they can even make predictions. And one of the things that we're going to see a lot more of is the fact that they can actually model highly volatile data like financial time series data and variances that are needed to predict rare events, like ONPASSIVE uses for fraud detection and such, right? And as a result of the power of AI and the neural nets that it uses, ONPASSIVE is going to be able to use AI and neural networks to improve their decision processes for things like credit cards and fraud detection and character and voice recognition, targeted marketing, ecosystem evaluation, computer vision, right? Which they're going to use to interpret, raw photos and videos, and just a whole ton of other stuff. So that's it. I hope you've enjoyed it. For more information about ONPASSIVE, please click on the OTRIM member link down in the description box below, or the YouTube links that we put in there with some leading founders in there. You can also go to onpassive.com. And I really hope that you've had a good time with this and you've learned something. I hope you'll check us out too. I mean, seriously, if you're doing anything, literally anything online, OnPassive has the tech to supercharge it and to supercharge your future. But whatever you decide, in any case, we wish only blessing and blessing to be upon you and upon your family. Thank you.